How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Exela. I wanted to make sure I gave you guys an update. I'm getting a lot of messages. Dre, it's continuing to pull back like you were saying. How far can this really go? We're going to talk about it. So before I actually get started, I have to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing that we're going to be going over is the technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance. I want to make sure you guys are prepared and you have a game plan going into next week. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. This will have an impact on the stock price and it will let us know whether Exela continues to have short squeeze potential. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. Where institutions loading up on shares today? We're about to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Exela. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $2.25, being up 0.90%. On the low, it tested $2.13, and then on the high, testing $2.31. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see it traded at 10.07 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 23.838 million shares. Now, when we take a look at our chart, we're using the 1-year daily chart. You can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 41.42. So yes, it is in the oversold territory. Now, when we take a look at the indicators on our chart, we are below the 21-day EMA. We are just above the 100-day, and also we are above the 200-day. So from what we can see, what's been happening, and since I did my last video on Exela, I told you that it was on a downward trend, and you want to see some strength off of the 100-day. Of course, we've seen that for today because it ended up testing $2.13, and since the 100-day is at 214, there is some support there. But as far as going into next week, if this pullback does decide to continue inside of the stock, then of course you're going to want to look for seeing some strength above this $2.06 level, and as well just overall in general seeing how well $2 can actually hold up. Because if it does decide to continue its pullback, then you guys can see clearly it can get very bloody here. So with all of that said, what you want to see as far as a reversal for Exela, you're going to want to see it come back to reclaim the 21-day EMA. Right here at $2.66. That's not too far off, but do keep in mind you will see some resistance here, right here around $2.55. So that's something to look out for going into next week as far as momentum is concerned. If you're not going to end up getting that and we end up having low volume trading like we've been seeing with Exela, then this pullback most definitely will continue. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for Exela. So as we scroll down on the page, you can see short shares availability is at 1.3 million, updated 1 minute ago. And for the short borrow fee rate, it's at 5.64%. Now, taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see here for the close of the 17th, it was at 36.13. And then for the 18th, it was at 27.99. And then for the close of the 19th, being at 23.72. So even though it has gone down quite a bit, Exela still continues to have short squeeze potential. Like I was saying, we tend to look for the short volume ratio to be 21% or higher, and of course Exela does display that. And the only way you're going to start seeing some strong moves in price action is through buying. So there has to be a lot more buying and a lot more volume coming into the stock. If you don't get that, then of course you're going to continue to see some pressure on the overall stock price. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Exela. So we can see here on the inflow, it's at 4,882, and then on the outflow, it was 4,220. So we ended up having an inflow day. So we could see on the large, it was 816. On the medium, it was 2,843, and then on the small it was 1,223. On the outflow side, we had 704 45 on the large. On the medium, we had 2,398. And then on the small, we had 1,077. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the 18th, the 19th, and as well as the 20th, which we had 71.63, have all been inflow days. So if you are a shareholder of Exela, this is definitely great to see. We see institutions have been loading up on shares. So as far as a spike is concerned, it is something to look forward to going into next week. Like I was saying before in a lot of my videos, when you see institutions purchasing shares and you're seeing that large scale order activity, you can look forward to actually having a plan and having a strategy in place of when you want to get in and when you want to get out if you're trading off fluctuations. So now let's jump into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for Exela, this is a volatile play. Of course, if you're not new to it, then you're already used to this already. When we went on Fintel, we can see it has short squeeze potential written all over it. But keep in mind, it needs volume. We have to have a lot of people who are buying shares. This comes down to supply and demand. As long as we have low volume and there's not a lot of buying going on, then shorts are going to continue to drive this price into the ground. But what is great to see, as far as the pullback is concerned, we have institutions who are loading up on shares. Am I saying, well, you know what, we're going to have a big time movement going into next week? No, but at the same time, we can look forward to seeing a spike. It's been very consistent with this particular type of behavior when we've been taking a look at the order flow. So I just want to make sure that you're prepared for that. As far as for the chart is concerned, you guys already know, like I talked about, what you want to look for in regards to it looking bullish all over again. So please keep that in mind and add that to your homework and as well as your due diligence. And you know, this is a penny stock at the end of the day. So the volatility and the way the market has been acting, because it is rewarding companies who are putting out great earnings and putting it into big tech and also more institutional focused type of companies out there. So what I mean by that are companies that have a lot of institutional ownership. But with all of that said, I'm looking forward to seeing how Exela performs next week, and I will continue to keep it on my watch list and keep you guys updated. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.